get started here? You know, it's funny. There's actually a very interesting topic I'm definitely going to bring up in a bit, especially for everybody that's been having some issues with Steam OS. I'm all good. Yes. Thanks, Amir. What's up, Abby? What's up, Z-Man? What's up, fam man? What's up, guys? I just had to get my system all situated. There was a bunch of crazy updates, especially for the stream bots and for the chat bot, and also on OBS. So it's been quite the morning already. What's up, Takuma? Yeah, sure. Feel free. Ask Abby. This is an open forum. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful start to the weekend, at least. Better than mine's with updates. Good morning, Havy. What's up, Celeron? Hot stream. T done. Glad to see you. I need to know if I should buy this broken GPU or get it repaired. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, what's the situation? What's the situation that you have with the GPU? How do you know what's wrong with the situation there when it comes to this GPU? Is it the actual gold fingers on the card that are actually broken? The RTX 4090 Ventus 3X outside looks good, and even the but they don't say the problem. Okay, so they marked it as not working, but they're selling it. But I would check the GPU for sure. Make sure it's not missing, because that's been happening a lot. Thank you, Steve, also for being the first one in here. I bought an Asus 9060 XT 16GB dual in white 500. The same for the 5060 Ti was 680. That's honestly not that bad. The pins look good in the photo, and it's $51. Yeah, it sounds like for $51, the GPU has to be missing in there. It's broken and for parts. It's more than likely going to be just the actual GPU shroud plus everything with it, the PCB. It's probably going to be missing the GPU, I bet. If it's only $51, there's no way that they're selling it that cheap. That's insane. I'm sure you don't want to post it either, because that's quite the find. I mean, you can always give it a shot if there's some sort of guarantee. I mean, you can go ahead and get it. And yeah, if you're willing to, throw out $51, because it's going to be more than likely too good of a deal to be true. I believe I'm with Takuma on this. You would have to be willing to pretty much throw out $51 just to see if this risk is any good. I want to get started on on a card like that for $51. That's going to be too good to be true. But to be honest, if you want to really get some decent frames, what type of resolution you're gaming in, by the way, real quick, because I mean, you can get a card. It doesn't have to be a 4090 to do it. My build's going to be at least 30. If that's the case, if you're willing to spend it. Yeah, no, your case looks really nice. You got to check out the Haven case. I'm going to feature it for you guys. Hopefully some of the guys that are having issues with, say, the ROG Ally that has SteamOS, or any other device that has SteamOS, I have some great news for everybody out there, because there's actually a new update that I do want to share with you guys. Because Steam Machine Firmware 108 is actually going to fix the problem. I didn't even get a chance to even post it up on X. It is. What my build now? Everybody wants their build. I use Mint, no issues here. Yeah, so with SteamOS, there's some sort of sleep issue, specifically on any device that's pretty much not a Steam Deck. So it's the big issue is that it can occasionally wake up. Even for the Steam machine itself, sometimes it'll wake up even though being put into sleep mode. And of course, this update can be a rare issue with some others where CPU performance can even be reduced. So this new update, firmware 108, will certainly fix the issue. But of course, it's going to be more focused on the important parts of the actual Steam machine more than anything. But it will also fix a lot of the issues as well when it comes to the ROG Ally or MSI Claw or any other devices that uses Steam OS. So ASUS ROG Z890, I'm glad that you called that out too. Amir actually picked up on the whole firmware update for your BIOS. Always important to update your BIOS. I was actually discussing with a friend just last night. He was getting some temperature issues, especially for anybody that has Raptor Lake or Raptor Lake refresh. Just make sure to update your BIOS because that can eliminate some of the issues. Apparently, he only truly experienced some temperature issues when it came to Battlefield 6. But he's going to find his USB today, and more than likely that's going to resolve the issue because his temps are running about as high as 92 to 93 degrees. So T-Dun says if the person is selling for the parts, it already is not worth it. It's more than likely going to check out for a cost of repair, especially for a RTX 4090. I will have pictures for my build. I've been busy. Yeah. Feel free to post it. I know you probably had been having a great time with your build. Anyone got a GPU? Yeah. Shooter game. Okay, in version. I played Silent Hill 2 remake yesterday with the 5700 XT, and it surprised me. It did very well. Yeah, there's a lot of cards out there that still don't get the attention that they deserve. Even the 580, an old card, the RX 580, still actually performs today because that's like AMD's equivalent of like the 1060. It still performs, but even though they don't really truly get the updates, but it can perform as long as you set it onto the correct resolution and the correct graphics requirements here. I got 1 millisecond and 200. Huh? Haven't heard of 200 hertz. That's 400 to 500. Well, the thing is, the only argument I can say is unless they're trying to go full out competition, and that they truly do not care about the graphics in the game, then yes, you can lower the resolution and then get a much higher frame rate. So if you're trying to go after like a full out build, like for competition use, I can get it in that sense. What's up, Smitty? Yes. Thank you for waking up. I know it's tough out there, especially on the West Coast. 5700 XT was a 256-bit bus also. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and go into it because I want to share everything that has been going on, guys, because this is going to be pretty much based on everything that is on the new Steam OS. I was thinking of getting a monitor. Oh yeah. That's gonna be if you have a decent monitor, it completely changes your game. Especially if you go OLED, they have OLED displays where you can get as low as $300. So let me just show this to you guys. Let me show this to you, fan bam. So I'm gonna go over to the browser here, share with you guys what's going on with the latest Steam OS. Especially, this will be relatable for anybody that uses Steam OS, whether if it's for your PC, whether if it's going to be based on for your device, if it's going to be on a ROG Ally, if it's going to be an MSI Claw or a Lenovo Legion, or depending whichever you have. Now, this new update, one of the main keys, it seems like they kind of hinted on this, was this helps with this whole Steam controller wireless adapter. So it's not just devices themselves when it comes to actually waking up. It's even peripherals such as a controller. Of course, it can improve the battery and most importantly, preliminary support for the Steam frame wireless adapter. So there's some indicator that it seems that they are pushing forward with the subject. Maybe the Steam frame will actually be coming out much sooner than we expected. I'm hoping if it does end up releasing, that it ends up in August because with the whole situation with Snapdragon raising their prices starting September 1st, that's going to be another crap show again for Valve if they once release it on a bad date. So Steve says it scared me thinking of graphics cards could go up, so I bought. Yeah, no, it's a very real possibility. I mean, we're almost into pretty much quarter three of the year. It doesn't turn into quarter three, of course, until the fall time, and that's going to be September 22nd. That will be the official start of quarter three, really. Of course, depending on the companies, they can all put quarter three however they would like it. So Havy says, I'm having the Aorus FI32U 144 hertz monitor. Was thinking of getting the ROG PG32U CDM Gen 3. Gen 3 is a really good one too. Honestly, either monitor that you choose are going to be great choices. The FI32U is also a decent choice because that's not going to be really that expensive at all. Newegg actually has a really good deal on a gigabyte monitor, but this is also based on 1440 display, but it can run up to 240 hertz, and it's only $300. It's OLED, but of course, over in Singapore, I know it's going to be a different selection. The PG32 UCDM, I can say, is certainly a great choice as well. That's what I personally use myself, but I use the PG34 instead of the 32. But I gotta say the OLEDs are really good on it. The technology, the heatsink, everything about the display is certainly worth getting. So, AB says the KTC 24.5 inch, 200 hertz low blue light gaming esports monitor. Huh? I gotta look that one up. If I've learned anything over the last year, it's the GPU prices will never go down. Yes, that is true, and that's what we certainly were pretty much prepared for, especially since the beginning of well, not really beginning, but the beginning of, I should say, Ramageddon at least. So Takuma says that Nvidia cards are going insane in pricing. I'm starting to recommend RX 9060 XT. That's funny. Yeah, like even Takuma's even supporting the AMD line. He's also a big AMD guy too. I mean, he's a big NVIDIA guy, but he will certainly recommend AMD cards as well, it seems. But I certainly highly recommend them. Great cards to use, especially for if you are going to be to use your PC for gaming. Of course, if you're using it for creator use and you want to save a little bit of extra money, RX 9070 XT is actually a really good card you can actually get. That's not crazy expensive. You're talking RTX 5070 Ti's are really expensive, more than average of what they should be. Like you're looking at prices that are going up about 100 to 200 and even up as high as $300 more. Even the price cap and comparison between the RTX 5070 Ti and between a RTX 5080 is honestly not really worth it if you see it. You're talking about $700 to $800 price gap between a 5070 Ti and a RTX 5080. For boys, let's see, you got the glass gaming mount. Okay, so this is describing more of the peripheral side, more than anything here. The RX 9060 XT 16 gigabytes is 100 times better than the E-Way Scam. I agree. I mean, so far testing the RX 9060 XT, I gotta say it's much more impressive than I originally thought it was going to be. It plays a lot of the modern games actually relatively well, especially for the pricing. AMD and Linux and AMD, yes, I agreed. Thank you for the suggestion. Just since I'm having a 15, yes, you might as well. You might as well get 250 hertz. Especially you could go full 4K 240. You can definitely pull it. And imagine playing your games such as Resident Evil. It's going to look amazing on that game. So the no 1440 because most let's see, NeTech M.2 NVMe hard drive. Let me see. LGA. That's a very interesting spec sheet, I gotta say. Very interesting. So what processor are you going with? Man, RTX 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte now is $900. I know. You know what makes no sense? The RTX 5070 is like $800 to $900. Talk about an expensive GPU there. You buy, yeah, there you go. Going back here real quick, I just want to go over the updates real quick when it comes to the whole Steam OS. I'm just going to throw this out there. When you hot plug the HDMI, meaning if it's on, if your Steam machine is on, or if your PC is on, it could potentially cause lockups in desktop mode. So it would seem like it would seem like Linux froze. It seemed like it hard froze. But this actually, they actually resolved it with the firmware update, so it does not do that. They also fixed an issue where the TV supporting HDMI game mode would display the initial boot logo before engaging mode. Wi-Fi connections for certain adapters out there. Most importantly, fixed issues causing prior Steam OS updates to fail or even apply to users here. They also fixed a lot of audio when it comes to HDMI audio dropouts, improve reliability, of course, of the HDMI hot plug, and add options for lower latency audio codecs. And most importantly here is going to be the non-valve devices. Because I've seen this quite a bit on Discord. There's a few people out there that were having issues with wake up on Steam OS. And the wake up on Steam OS, it seems that the device would actually go to sleep and wouldn't wake up. If you're on a RG Xbox Li, it seems like it would just go to sleep and that was it. And the only way for you to really start it is for you to pretty much reboot the device. So they improved it on the MSI call, the 1X player, and they also support devices with external or no Wi-Fi adapters. And they also fix a few bugs where it kind of ignored when held the input. So that was some of the complaints that I've also heard when it came to using another device that isn't officially released by Valve. That it seemed that they wouldn't be able to read the controller inputs. And they also added the gamepad support, so proper gamepad support, meaning officially supported in SteamOS now. And same thing with the AI Neo, Pocket S2, and updated gamepad for the 1X player Apex with a new firmware. And the Linux kernel, most importantly, is up to date, which is important, especially if you want to have more compatibility when it comes to your games here. So I definitely want 4K OLED monitor as a secondary monitor. Actually, it's not a bad idea to do so. And there's an argument when it comes to that because some people will argue to say that it's not worth getting an OLED for a second monitor because it's mostly stationary, that you're going to have a static desktop or unless you use the secondary monitor pretty often. If you multitask a lot with your PC, then yes, getting OLED's fine. But if for some reason you're not using your second monitor, or even if you have a third monitor that you don't honestly use, break it down. Use the proper usage of monitors that you truly need or displays, and you'll be fine with an OLED device. So let's see. And 4070s have been discontinued and are expensive. Even used, they are expensive than the NVIDIA tax. Let me see. So speaking of which, let me go over to the Micro Center side because I know a lot of you are certainly concerned about the GPU end. I know there's a lot of questions about the cost when it comes to the GPUs. I mean, they've gone up quite tremendously here. So when it comes to the GPU, you take a look at like an RTX 5070, which isn't really nothing too insane. It's 12 gigabyte of G7. Nothing truly special about it. Of course, nobody truly wanted to go after this card, especially because everyone's looking for the minimum of 16 gigabytes of VRAM. It's the one thing that you look for when it comes to a GPU, especially for today's standards. So when you take a look at this RTX 5070, PNY is still selling it at a very low cost. So For a PNY, they're selling it at $620. When it comes to ASUS now, again, this is usually the indicator or the signal to let you know that they are going to raise the pricing as it is. ASUS is usually the first ones to raise their prices, and then pretty soon you'll see MSI and Gigabyte pretty much follow through. And I agree with Smitty. 9070 XT is all day. I do agree with that. So how much they get on a COD? A 9070 XT, it can get you some great numbers as long as if you have the correct optimization. That is key. Remember, guys, it's not all about the power of the GPU to be able to run the games well. Sure, it's could be partial. It just depends on the game. But if you're playing competitively, you're not going to be aiming for the best graphics or the best quality, and also trying to pull 400 frames. That is really unrealistic, and most competitive gamers will certainly know that. So terrible time to build a PC. Prices are getting worse by the week. I'm honestly worried for everybody, especially when it comes to the holiday season. The good thing is that there's 2 Prime days. So the next one, Prime Day, I can say is going to be in October. Hopefully they end up pushing it much more um, later in a sense, to where it can match up into even better November deals, because that was the biggest thing. Most people wanted to get the better deals when it came to SSDs, when it comes to RAM, when it comes to GPUs. Hopefully can make that can certainly happen. So for anyone that is looking for the upcoming latest video, I am currently working on that. Make sure to keep your eyes on it. I will have it posted maybe later today into tomorrow. For the members, of course, it's always posted the day before. You guys will be able to see it first. And then it will go into a Sunday at 8 a.m. for the newest video. So, CUDA. The real reason why NVIDIA is expensive. Exactly. That's the real reason it is. CUDA is a very useful tool, especially for those who are renders and for those who use their PC for more than more than just gaming. So optimization is key. What's up, Igor? I'm doing great. How about yourself? Uh, uh yeah, I didn't know you misclicked. I can tell. IDM. Oh, nice. Yeah. I gotta share Amir's progress on his PC. It's quite a beautiful PC. The Haven HS420. Uh, you guys gotta check this out. So we're gonna go on Discord here, and you gotta check out his progress. So now the case comes in mighty beautiful. It's a tall case, so if you love big PC cases, this might be one of the options that you want to look at here. So let's go to Discord, guys. And there it is. Look at this. So he has 2 Corsair fans pretty much ready. He's just waiting on some fans, I believe. That's pretty clean. I love that GPU bracket there. They just constantly get better when it comes to cases here. So we as consumers need to boycott the nonsense and stop giving money for overpriced piece of hardware, faulty connectors. Since there are FSR4 OptiScalers, we need to be smart. I agree. It's I agree that people certainly should be much smarter when they end up purchasing GPUs. That they just don't get what the what can I say? The best thing I can say is don't get what everyone is getting. You want to be able to get something that performs just as well, and you want to get the price to performance. Hence why I always recommend the RX 9070 XT. So I'm going to go over to the next picture here so you can get a better look at it. That's it about a bit further away here. And that's how it looks with the actual case on. And a lot of the newer cases, they seem like they have more of a modern look. It has more of a curved glass instead of a sharp fish tank look. So it makes it look a bit cleaner. So I do like that about it. So Corsair cases are, so I agree, Corsair cases are really easy to build in. Motherboard AIO installed. Titan 420RX LCD. Man, that's going to be a monster there. There's no way that CPU is going to get hot at that point. I mean, the 360 was good enough. Imagine a 420. Tribalism and fanboyism is ruining so much in the PC space. Uh, I hope people are waking up to that sense. And what Real Tech is certainly talking about here is that what happened here when it comes to the whole NVIDIA side is that they pretty much told everybody straight up, like, hey, we do care about you guys, but to a point. We're not going to go R&D some new GPU just quite yet. Just let us take care of our AI business. The thing that they truly care about, what really makes them the big money. I mean, out of everything, they make 3 point, like roughly about like 3.5 trillion off of AI compared to a measly 200, 300 billion from the gaming industry. Sure, it sounds like a large number, but compared to 3.5 trillion, which one would you rather choose? 200 billion, or would you rather go with the 3.5 trillion? And they pretty much said that we're not going to develop on this whole new GPU. It might not actually happen until 2028. So this could also affect systems in a sense too when it comes to consoles, because even the newer consoles, they were supposed to have some sort of peak like within 2026 and release into 2027. But more than likely, it's going to be a bit unrealistic. You see AMD stretching out the life of the AMD motherboards as it is too. So that's why I bought the 9070. They're busy pumping a bubble before the pop. Exactly. It was a tough pill to swallow when Jensen said GeForce paid for AI. Yeah, I mean we technically did, and ironically, it was gamers who pretty much discovered. Ernesto, what's going on? It was gamers that pretty much discovered the whole AI, like this whole LLM side, and it was based off of SLI system, believe it or not. So well, I think that AI is a slightly exaggerated on suspect Ford contract. I think so too. These investors are wanting to get answers here. Let me just show a bit more of Amir's build. He's done quite a bit, and here it is. Take a look at that. That's his Asus Extreme board here. Thank you, Ernesto, for being a wonderful member. Once again, you're always trustworthy. So he has the Extreme board, nice and hooked up. That 420 looks solid. Look at those fans, man. 140 millimeter. And you know what's nice about those too? Even compared to like a 360 setup, it's going to actually sound more silent because the fans are larger, so it's lower RPM. I bet those fans are barely going to kick on, and you got plenty of cooling. I love how this looks here. But that is clean. I can't wait to see how this is on. And here's a better picture of it actually standing up. So that's what I like about these cases too. They're like much more flexible to work with in a sense when it comes to the curved glass, such as this. It's similar kind of like how the fish tank is, but it's just a bit better. It's almost like a lot of them have like set screws in order for you to install them, but I do love how this looks here. So if anybody wants to show off their rigs, feel free in Discord. I'm more than happy to show it. So let me go back over here to the browser here. Mir has done excellent. That upgrade to the R, yeah, it's insane. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, the RX 140 Max. He went full out. And when Amir works on his rig there, he goes full out. So then you won't need. I want to get a height Y70 one day. That'll happen. I'm sure you'll get it. A prominent MIT study reveals that 95% of enterprise generative AI deployment achieves zero financial return. Why is that not a surprise there? Because, yes, happy Saturday, everybody. It's Saturday. Enjoy it. Just to let you guys know, the Onimusha, like if anybody enjoys Onimusha, they have it available for Steam for the demo, and it actually releases September 4th. So if you're a fan of Onimusha, they are going to have it up. They have it already on Steam. You can go ahead and play it, and it plays really well. And on the card, it was only pulling like 180 watts. It was amazingly optimized, I gotta say. Love the Dark Hero board with the toolless SSD access panels. I know it's just going to get better when it comes to this. Pretty soon we're going to be able to install motherboards without screws, which could be easily done. Eventually they're just going to kind of just lock into place. I could easily see that, where you just pop it in and then it locks. So full out for me was a 13900K. I got hey, I get it. I get it. It's not easy, man. But at least you got your build. 13900K is still a great system there. Likely UK prices high, but not too high. I want to get a curved glass case. So I show off my machine after I get a 280mm AIO. Got any recommendations? Need to be black. No RGB. And I probably have better fans than the stock ones. Oh, I bet. So let's go ahead and so for anyone that is looking for GPUs, just be really mindful. Everybody in here is pretty much in agreement of if you're trying to get a GPU and you truly need one, just get an RX 9070 XT. More than likely, that's going to resolve your needs. Now, the price gap, if you're curious about how much of a price gap it is from an RX 9070 RX 9070 XT compared to a RTX 5070 Ti, it's getting larger by the day. In fact, we will show you. Let's go into the GPUs side here as we look at the 5070 Ti. It is right 1200 KS here on this PC. Even the 96, yeah, honestly, it would be. It's really not a bad choice. We all know that. Remember, when you build a PC, it's not about spending the most money or having the best specifications. It's about to truly play your games, especially if you're building it for gaming. What is the cheapest GPU brand? I would say PNY. I feel like PNY certainly has the cheapest currently at Micro Center. Nice, nice. Till 900K here. Hey, it's a Elder Lake's awesome too. 14900K. I couldn't get the stable voltage draw for my life. Oh really? Every hour of gaming. I used to really love that processor as well. So as everybody's here, I'm gonna announce it too on YouTube as well here. So for any other streams that I do, because there's something I do have to say. For any other streams that I do have to say, when it comes to besides when it comes to hardware, or besides when it comes over to any type of PC related side of things, if it's more into gaming streams, any of the gaming streams that I will do from now on will be strictly on Twitch, just because because to separate the whole algorithm from YouTube from getting confused. So just to let everybody know that if you want to catch any of the gaming lives, make sure to tune in on Twitch and I'll be happy to share it. Also do some gaming tutorials, especially for some mods. But just to let you guys know, all more of the gaming side, more of the gaming streams will be over on Twitch. So cannot go wrong with the 5800 X3D AM4. It is hard platform to leave. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that's the main reason. Find an Arctic liquid freezer, not RGB for me. Whatever was. Oh, speaking of, I got news about Arctic too. They're actually pulling they're pulling one of the top tier moves here. Thank you, Chev, for lurking. Certainly do appreciate it. Of course. It should. Getting some stuff done came to. Thank you for stopping in as always. Damn. What's up with my alert command here? It should be working. What is the DGPU for 1.3? I bet it's that stupid update. Updates always mix up something here. DGPU has always basically gone away from the masses despite existing supply still clearly of what's left. We have to love our choices here. I know, because our choices here in hardware here. I'm going to start from the lowest price here, and this is going to be based on the 5070 Ti. So, okay, Zotac currently now has the lowest. Zotac is at, it's probably because they sold on their PNY, but Zotac has it for $979, which is still at least under $1,000. They haven't been affected, it means. The MSI NVIDIA hasn't been affected, not just quite yet. So these ones, anything that you see around this price range hasn't been affected. All the higher ones, it looks like, I can't believe it. The Asus NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 Ti Tough Gaming, it looks like they adjusted the pricing a little bit. So now this is at $1,300. Originally we seen it as high as like around like 15. Zotac, their solid core, this is more on the expensive end, 1,300. And now currently at the mid tier, the Ti Prime is at 1,230. Zotac, NVIDIA, Ti solid, and this is kind of like they're pretty much like their mid tier as well because this is their overclocked one. It's at $1,300. So Shep says, "What's my recommendation, AMD or RTX for a Ryzen 7 9700X?" 32 gigabytes of. I would say, Shebs, I think you would honestly be really happy with the RX 9070 XT. Many people would. I don't think they realize the potential in it. 5070 Ti in Canada are 1,600 Canadian plus. I hate. I get it. That's rough too. I also feel bad for a lot of Europeans because of the VAT tax, and it makes it so much worse. I feel like Abby has someone whispering in his ear that 4070. But it's a possibility. We've seen that quite a few. Arctic said that they're going to redistribute. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. I'm glad that you actually reminded me because I'll go over onto actual Arctic's website here as let me see, because I did post it. It was right here. So this is the Arctic Promise that they call it. As you know, for anybody that ended up getting tariffed, what they did was that they ended up giving them like pretty much like a big refund. So instead, Arctic will reduce its prices across its U.S. direct consumer sales after receiving the refunds of tariffs that were previously collected under the measures later ruled unlawful. So the U.S. trade tariffs significantly increased. Arctic proactively absorbed as much of the tariffs as possible to protect our customers, while most of the product line remained unaffected. Price adjustments became necessary for a limited number of products in the U.S. market at the time. Arctic committed to reversing those increases if circumstances allowed. So now a lot of the Arctic products that you are planning to get, like whether if it's coolers, they're even going to be cheaper. And it was a great price as it was already. So if you were to go onto Amazon now and took a look at a Arctic 360 cooler here. Yes, Arctic is German made. It is. The average low price for a 5070 Ti over a full run at 18 months is $876, but in the last 2 months it's been $952. And I'm a Linux jock 2 user. People should stop. I agree. Stop paying for overpriced items. So take a look at this. They dropped it down as low as $76.99. If you get it without the RGB here, it's only $70. It's really refreshing to see how much of a price drop that truly is. Because now if you want decent cooling and not spend a ton of money, You only have to spend 70 bucks and you get a decent cooler. Like, I mean, this is actually one of the top rated coolers, and it's cheap. It's not expensive. So you can pick up a Arctic liquid freezer for a good deal. So I think I posted up this deal actually a little bit earlier in the week for anyone that was looking for a decent AIO and not truly spend a ton of money. So these corporations are just allowed to scam the consumers. Well, it's all because of price and demand, and this is all because of the whole issues when it comes to, once again, when it comes to the demand of AI. They demand, uh, a lot of the demand is again from the using whether if it's NAND, whether if it's DRAM, anything that AI uses for their needs or their necessities will raise our end too because they see the value of it. They have to raise our value too as consumers. I get it's not right, and I know there's a few different theories based on it, but again, eventually, if these AI companies don't truly pay off the investors as they should, maybe we'll see a decline much sooner because then this would prove that this whole issue is more of an AI bubble. So let's go over back into the GPU side. So I had a Arctic liquid freezer too. It absolutely is. Um, should you get a GPU? What GPU do you have? Case gear is also in a oversupply and a case rise in prices. So will case gear. Let me see. What's my personal intake on the 40? The RTX 4070 is actually still a decent card. The RTX 4070, as I mentioned, like if you compared the line of NVIDIA cards, the last true RTX like 70, like 3070, I would say is the last true 3070, and then from there it kind of regressed. So the RTX 4070 is technically like an RTX 4060, but it performs really well still. And then when it goes to the 50 series, it's pretty much the same way. We kind of regressed a little bit when it came to the GPU side because of the rasterization. Instead, they relied more on transformers. So I think it's still an excellent card. If you have a 4070, it's still a modern enough card to enjoy on. So I believe the US is still seeking some land here to create. Yeah, you know what's crazy? Just the other day, speaking of what Chefs is talking about, just the other day, it was a farm I think over in Kansas that they offered a guy in the suit goes over to the farm and he offers to buy his farm for $26 million, and that 26 million USD dollars. So, but you know the farmer actually refused because it turns out the guy in the suit, what he truly wanted to do, what he wanted to do with this farm was actually to do exactly what Chefs is mentioning, is create pretty much a large AI data center on his farm. So that was one of the main reasons why he actually refused to do so. So for the MSI RTX 4070 Super Ventus 2 times overclock. So is that what you have right now? Just the RTX 4070? It's a decent card. I actually just uh went right over it. But on the channel insights, traditional desktops is falling from many short form factor clients on my industry form factor. You know, there's a lot of places that uses terminals more too. Like when it comes to more enterprise usage, or more not really enterprise, but more business usage, if that's what you mean. There's really to make gamer only RAM sticks that don't run as good in the server. I mean that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to come out with more RAM that was actually more focused on gamers. Look at what Crucial did. And right when they actually released their whole product, that's when they ended up completely changing their mind and starting to pull out the whole gaming side of it. So are the margins known to public in terms of manufacturing cost, etc.? Yes, you can actually look it up. A lot of it's based. If you go onto Stanford's website, or you go to some websites that actually have it listed. MSI RTX 4070 Super Ventus. Okay. 650 watts required. Okay, so that's what you would have to get for your PC build. Uh, Now let's make you smile. What do you have for sale? Uh, get a RX 9070 XT. You save money, but you get good performance. Problem is that RAM uses the same silicon than server HBM. Yes, that is the main issue. That's why it's so expensive. Um, is because they use that same exact wafer. They're like, we don't want to waste our time using it for DRAM. We much rather use it for HBMs. So that's a good 6 months of average left into 2027. All the deals will be gone. It's yes, it's absolutely that. It's the damn chips that's killing us. American companies are like hawks. Private equity is the devil. Qualcomm just hiked the prices. Yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Because remember, the Steam Frame is going to actually use this. MetaFrame actually uses this as well. Not MetaFrame. Quest, the MetaQuest also uses Qualcomm as well when it comes to their VR. So unfortunately, if the Steam Frame does come after September, it's going to be rough. I hope Valve can get through this. Fortunately, it always seems like when something is about to release, especially with Valve, it's like always rough timing, and that's with anything. So we just need more things because did you hear TikTok? Yeah. How about that? Yeah, that is a good point to bring up. That is weird. What do you think about that? That still sounds weird. What do you you know what? I'm gonna throw a poll for you guys because Amir actually brought up a wonderful question that kind of brought to mind here. So, do you think GTA 6 trailer showing on Netflix is a good idea? So in order to vote, you just put 1 or 2, and then you let me know what you think. Do you think that GTA 6 trailer, not really trailer, I should say extended gameplay, but that's not all going to fit in the poll anyway. But the extended gameplay, do you think that is worth it? Do you think that's a good idea? There's a immediate nose that I see there. Yeah, it makes no sense, right? It's almost like anti-consumerish, like when you think about it, right? So have them what product I have that data. Let me see. I have the Ryzen 9 Fury. Um, they use, oh really? A Radeon, the Radeon. Yeah, that's an older one. I remember those. I wasn't even ATI even. I guess yeah, and that's a big issue. That's another big issue. Expect that your devices will go up in pricing. Let me see. I've heard that motherboard pricing will be increasing soon. Yes. You know, we actually just discussed this, and somebody actually found out like beforehand, which was interesting. And that was because of the type of materials that are being used on motherboards. So that can cause the pricing of motherboards to shoot up. And that's really unfortunate because it almost seems like anytime we have something that is a decent price, something else goes up. I think a lot of people would have problems with Pentium 4 in this day and age. Me, never seeing them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people are pretty much pissed off. And it's kind of weird though. Like for Netflix to kind of pull a move like this, Netflix needs something to get their subs up. Even I think that's a problem. Uh okay. I'll put it doesn't work. Unfortunately, the poll doesn't work if you vote that many times. So there we go. Um, it's a good idea because I don't give a crap about GTA. So Netflix trying to get into the gaming into yeah, it makes sense in that sense because I think Netflix is trying to get that idea. And if you saw what Take Two Interactive, the actual CEO, what he said was pretty much that if more people go into cloud gaming, it's going to increase the whole streaming momentum. So if and that's why I think he brought it up on Netflix for that sense. He wants Netflix to also be recognized as a gaming platform besides Sony and Microsoft before those two. So that's probably why he wants to bring it up because eventually Netflix probably more than likely has plans to actually create servers for GTA 6. It wouldn't be a surprise. Damn, I need a new phone for my battery. It's dying. Uh, that's not good. Hopefully you can just replace the battery. Then they can just wait for September mid and drop the trailer. Yeah, the thing is, I just wonder how much of GTA 6 will actually show when it comes to it. Let me see. I think in a few years, ARM chips will be mainstream enough to give us choice between them and AMD until for the day. Let me see. Great idea. Where can GTA 6 be displayed in a control environment? Netflix gets views at the most likely at a low cost. I would think so too. Because the problem is, I think at first GTA 6 was pretty upset about the situation that YouTube accidentally leaked out actually ended up leaking out the trailer a bit earlier than expected. And then this also benefits GTA 6 for pushing another agenda, which is the whole cloud gaming. And many people aren't going for it. And I told you my experiences when I tried actually the whole cloud gaming. And that was not even on such a large game such as something like GTA 6. It was on a much smaller game on something like I think it was I can never say that game's name right, but Tariata it was. It was to that game. So Netflix had a game come out this year that the phone as a controller. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it to that point. They're trying to come out with more cloud controllers. That's what Razer wanted to do when it came out with their cloud controller, the Wolverine. So somebody looks like somebody got the looks like somebody got the band hammer. uh, all right, so the 4500 may not have all game drivers, basically the clock controls. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Wasabi. I mean, not Wasabi. Thank you, Takuma, for your wonderful mod controls. I'm sure that was pleasant to do. uh, going on to the actual GPUs here. Again, the pricing has gone up significantly, even on the regular F5070s. Yeah, it's okay. Yep, we all got to thank Takuma. Takuma did good. Let me see here. So again, the 5070s are even raising in pricing. It's not just the high tier cards like the 5090s. Even the 5080s, even though they're both technically 16 gigabytes, like when it comes to the 5070 Ti and the 5080, they're both on equivalent basis. So everything, pretty much, if it's a GPU and it looks like a GPU, it's going to be more expensive, unfortunately. When somebody, yeah, yeah, that it was definitely probably more than likely a child on there. I know you were trying to give him a chance to, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. No worries. Because I could completely understand Takuma's perspective. But anyway, anyone that's just coming in, just to let you guys know that I will be doing all my more of the gaming streams all over into the Twitch side more than onto the actual YouTube side. So if I do any gaming streams, make sure to pay attention there, because we have to respect the whole YouTube's algorithm here. What's up, Rio Row? Rio Row. So, facts, people should be reasonable. Yes. 5070 average long run was $587. And just to show you how ridiculous it is, like it might make you throw up. I know I made poor waffle skater there. Definitely throw up when you saw the prices. So the lowest price again, once again, is PNY. Is the cheapest way you can certainly get a 5070 if this is what you're aiming for. If you're aiming for something more of like of a more higher overclocked version, they do have the Shadow, a decent card, again 660, and that's not truly the marker to raise pricing just quite yet. They also have a different version of the Shadow, which is more for like the short form factor one, which is just the 2 fans, is at $790. So you can see the big price gap between the two. But many of you, I'm sure, like it's understandable. This is the 5070. This specific 5070 is built more for short form factor. And then once you get a bit further down onto the list, ASUS is usually the one that typically gives the signals to other GPU companies, such as Gigabyte or MSI or any other AIB, to let them know to start raising prices. Because now a RTX 5070 Prime is $909 and a 5070 Tough is $950, nearly $1,000. This should be pretty much the price of what a RTX 5070 Ti should be. So yeah, now look. Yeah. The end of affordable for computing is very near. I agree. I see that the Gigabyte 5070 M5. Oh, really? 580 on the top right. So that's probably one of the cards I ended up selling out. I'm glad you actually picked that up, Adon, because for anybody that is looking for a more affordable GPU, you definitely want to pay attention to the Micro Center front page if you can, because usually, yeah, right here, actually popped up $579.99. Maybe you have it available at your Micro Center. Unfortunately, over on our side, in Miami, it seems like they do not. The corporate agenda is cloud compute for sure. I feel the same way. I feel more than likely they want more people to go into the cloud. They don't want people to get hardware anymore because they feel like they could use the hardware for themselves, especially when it comes to more of the AI side. So let's shut that poll. Most people here do not agree that it's a great idea for that it's not a great idea for GTA 6 to do so. So is there any chance that AI bubble collapses? More than likely it can, and it's becoming more apparent to the case where it seems that these AI companies are not paying as much as they should be. And there's indications too, like even if you use any type of, say, chatbot that's AI, you'll notice that they have much more plans than they used to. Before, it was much more direct to where they would have 1 or 2 plans. Now they have like 6 or 7 plans. So they're trying to pull money from somewhere. And they realize that just having the 2 plans wasn't enough. They're even thinking of throwing advertisements on chatbots. So if you use something like Claude or use ChatGPT or any of the big AI platforms, that you might even get ads in between while you use the chatbot. So we live in the twilight zone now, a new reality in GPU pricing. Unfortunately, that is the truth. For my test bench, I might be getting a RX 6500 XT. Just don't know what is the best variant. I see Sapphire made a white one. Yeah, they did. That wouldn't be a bad choice. Heights says, holy hell, I never expect mid-range build to be up to 2,000 USD. Now it's like a bad ATP, whether you have to either sacrifice not getting an extra CPU. Yeah, the best way to honestly try to build a PC, as we all talked, and is certainly getting a bundle. If you get the bundle, it's certainly the best way. And it seems that Micro Center is doing their best to pretty much hold on to these bundles as much as they can. They do have the 7500 X3D with 16 gigabytes of with DDR5, and it also comes with a 7500 X3D. Really not a bad deal at all if you're trying to build like a starter kit for a PC. We actually went ahead and did use the 7600 XT. I mean, not 7600 XT, the 7600 X3D, and we used their kit. But it was, let me see, at the time it was $430, but they also adjusted pricing because now the 7600 is now $430. And if you upgrade the kit to the X870 board, that it's $450. Expensive PC parts is nothing new. But I mean, there is limits though, man. This is insanely expensive. Glad I got my 7900 GRE when I did rent a PC in time. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Is Hidden here today? I don't think he is, but he's actually working on a program for that, for renting out pretty much PCs. It's more of rent to own type of thing, or pretty much like his own type of financing for a PC. And it seems like it's going to get to that point. I'm going to have to end up pushing that onto my website because for anyone that does want to purchase PCs, it's also on the website as well. I do also have PCs up there. But I think this is going to be more important than anything, that they're going to have offers to where they can make PCs somewhat more affordable. Even just gaming itself has become this tremendous cost now. So I was reading that RAM prices are now at the equivalent of prices of levels of 2007. It's not that too far off, because I was actually just doing a video based on specifically NAND, because and that also is something that doesn't get talked enough about. And anything when it comes to pricing, when it comes to either NAND or DRAM, technically we actually pay really cheap, especially for what, considering inflation and everything involved, we still pay really cheap for what the cost should technically be. It should actually be much more, but obviously we don't want it to go much more higher than it is. But AI will just be like Bitcoin. Yeah, soon it'll be background noise. How many people actually, out of curiosity, I'm going to throw a poll out there too, because I'm curious. I've noticed this trend, especially for people that even use like some sort of chatbot. Have you stopped? I should say, have you used? Are you still using? I should say, are you still using AI? You can be honest, because I'm just truly curious, because I was just speaking to one of my friends here, and he says that he hasn't touched ChatGPT. He actually forgot all about it. He's just been going back to his old routines, going into Google, just Googling his information instead of actually going and using a chatbot anymore. It seems that people are kind of like, they used it at first, but then they realized, I think, to the point where sometimes the information isn't reliable when you talk to a chatbot. So AI bubble is unstable long term. I agree. I agree. Eventually, that's definitely going to pop without a doubt. It just doesn't. It's nonsensical for it to continue at the rate it is in. So, Mike Bruzini, I agree with you. AMD is not a bad option for VRAM. Ryzen 7, to rate your PC, 7900 XTX, still a awesome PC, because I do respect the XTX, and you now have FSR4 on there, so that makes it much more. So Hidden's here. So I just saw you, Hidden. I just saw your text. 64 gigabytes DDR5, CL32, 6000 X870M, or simply 4 terabytes of T705. I gotta say, that's an excellent PC, especially in 2026. And if I were to give your PC a rating, it's definitely a workhorse. You got a very good workhorse. I would definitely give it a. I gotta give it. What kind of case are you using? Because I gotta know. And what's your power supply to? I just gotta throw that in there. So that way I can give it a better rating. Just out of curiosity here. My white 9060 XT looks great in my case. Yeah, yeah, Armand, what do you say? Like roughly about like a 2 out of 10? 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 maybe. So Bob says, just to clarify, the test bench is lower common denominator for my video game. Surely gamers will. I feel like 6500 XT is about right. Because you truly think about it, you have to think of it as an equivalent of like almost like a PlayStation 5 or Xbox. And 6500 XT is even lower of an equivalent because the 6800 XT is more closer to the PS5, and same thing with the Xbox. Shoner. I like what the Kuman said. That's funny. Wrong channel, buddy. PS5 with the drive. So you're working on a Threadripper project. I noticed that Micro Center has a Intel Xeon. Honestly, I've always liked Threadripper more. I feel like the Intel Xeon, they're great. They're great processors, but the thing is, I feel like the cost is tremendously much more higher than a Threadripper. The build is Celeron CPU Ultra. Yeah, no, yeah. No, I think he's just being he's just it's just he's just being sarcastic there. I would say that the 6800 should still be good for FSR4. It's coming to RDNA 4. Someone bought a PS4 for $80. And that is actually a decent deal. Because, you know, a comedian said this once. I forgot exactly who said it. But they said that they had an option of buying. At the time, PS4 was the newest console, of course. So he said that you either have a load of games. You have like hundreds of games on a PS3 versus a PS4 where you have only like 2 or 3 games for $80 for that price range. So which one would you rather go for pricing wise? And of course, most people would opt in to get the newest console, but sometimes the smarter decision is to get a system that actually has games already on there with a loaded library, which you're never going to play all anyway. So I remember paying $3,000 for my first PC back in 1998 when, yeah, it was, I mean, those were expensive times. Like back then they were considered a entertainment system. So you would actually have to, it would come with the monitor, it would come with speakers, it would come with the keyboard mouse. But those were different times. $3,000 in 95 for like a full PC build. Wow, we're even tied up here. So we got a 50-50. But you know what's crazy though? Now, if I would have done this poll, like roughly like I'd say like about 4 months ago, I would have like about 80%, like probably a decent 80 to 90% of people that would say that they would be able to, that they still use AI. But notice how much of a difference that we see in the poll now. We have a 50-50 split. So I have DDR5, 64 gigabytes of 6400 megahertz of RAM. How long do you think that's going to be? Oh, you're going to be good. You don't have to worry until the next, like, hopefully we don't have another RAM crisis in the future, but you have enough to avoid the RAM crisis, I can say. Skynet is growing, I know. It absolutely is. You know what's funny? Because I got to share this with you, man. If we go over here, I actually reposted this because I thought this was hilarious. There's this account. Scientists said that they used AI to create new viruses for the first time. So I had to put this GIF out there because it makes perfect sense. It's just growing. This is their perfect opportunity for them to do something. So let's go here. I actually use AI for game development for concept designs. In fact, I recently asked to make me a map, which I am currently 3D modeling. That is awesome. Actually, what is happening is showing the hyperinflation that happening with PC parts due to the tariffs and the war in Iran, oil shocks and restriction. It's definitely much more than that. A 9070 XT costs the AIB $442, and they will add 50% markup and $663. And there is all the information you can read here. Yes, I use it for a local LM. Let me see. I use Copilot. It's good enough for me. Hey, some people are happy with Copilot. There's an option of renting a PC monthly, but I should be on a threshold on how much the consumer has to. You know, the crazy thing is so many people have ragged on NZXT for doing it. I think, do they still do it? Let's go on their website and find out because I'm not sure if they do or not. NZXT, because that was really a big thing. Okay, so let's say we go to the player one kit here. Let me exit out of that. And financing available. So they don't have it anymore because I remember it was more apparent before. Okay, so they have own it and subscribe. So they still have it. Interesting. They still do have it. Flex 1. They call it Flex 1. Do you think this is the point? This is the area we're pretty much headed in here. Q2, AMD let go of Radeon at cost. It gives a wrong answer sometimes, but it steers you in the right track. If you take a bundle with 16 gigabytes, then add 16, how much more is that? It's going to be expensive. That's unfortunate factor, and they know that. But I can say this. If you hold on to that 16 gigabyte until the pricing gets adjusted, then who's the winner then? Go to the configurator. Would like to know how you feel about the rent to own option. The thing is, honestly, in my opinion, I just want people to enjoy their games. I've had friends where they needed a new PC. I've sent it to them, and maybe it's just me just being overly thoughtful because I want to be able to be the type of person that people can truly enjoy gaming. And so I won't charge them interest. I let him actually pay off the PC, and what was it? Probably it took him probably like roughly about 13 months to pay it off. But he paid me off though. And and I didn't charge any interest at all. And again, that it's a friend and I just wanted him to be able to enjoy it. And I feel that anybody that truly enjoys gaming, I don't want to be the type of person to charge interest for them for their pleasure. I want them to be able to enjoy the game, pay 0% interest, and just pay back whenever you can. So that's my personal opinion there. So let me see. I've been relying on AI for hey, legal research. That's different. That's a lot of reading there. I get that. You just upload it right into your chatbot, and it'll be able to dissect exactly what you're looking for. Oh, Wasabi, what's going on? PCs will end up being financed like cars. SteamOS is great. I'm only on Windows because I stream on. That makes sense. Do you actually do dual boot? Dual boot is a great option. I'm moving to the living room, so I'll be on YouTube. Okay, awesome. Waffle Skater be pretty pissed at you. So Gamer Nexus really went. Yeah, remember that? I am at work. At the moment, I just wanted to thank you for stopping in. High octane modder. So when I was going to buy the 9060 XT 8 gigabytes, I was told to save more and that 16 gigabytes instead. Now I have enough money for the 16 gigabyte model. The 8 gigabyte costs at what? See, there you go. Perfect case. I like the case. The 5060 seems to handle 4K okay at medium settings. I'll shut off the poll for you guys. And the next question I will ask everybody here is, how do you feel? Not really how do you feel, but do you agree? Do you agree with renting a PC? I'm going to say renting a PC, not financing a PC. Just out of curiosity, do you feel that it's okay to actually rent a PC? So with the LSS, I really hope. So let me see. Let me go down here. There we go. Dual boat is broken for me. Dual boot. I was gonna say boat. Have a PC on the boat. That would be interesting. I tried, but I got stuck in a boot loop, and then I was lucky and had a Steam. Yeah, it can be a bit of a pain because of the secure boot. Wasabi says, "Hell no." So have the Flex One subscription. It got 92 reviews. It got 4.3 stars. And you take a look at it, they do charge a significant amount of money. But this again is a brand new PC you're renting. It's $84 a month. So you're paying $84 a month to play on this PC, which is it's a i5 14400, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a 5060. That's $84 a month for that build. I'm just reading the specs now. That's pretty crazy, actually. I think that's kind of high. They must assume that after the first year that you're going to return to PC. That's what I would assume, because $84 is pretty significant. I'd looked at used values before rentals. Makes sense. I would rather finance the PC. It makes more. I agree. I feel like financing makes much more sense in the PC world. Hence, while I do agree with Hidden's philosophy on pretty much like financing it. So the only thing that I really like about NZD XT cases is the front panel connector. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they can be a little bit finicky to mess around with. I know, like when it comes to the casing, sometimes it can be a little bit, how do I say, flimsy, especially when you're like taking off certain parts. But they're decent cases. They're not bad. They get decent airflow, and then they can look clean at times. Almost 100. I know, right? That's what I'm saying. For $100, nearly $100 a month, you're playing on a 5060. You can buy a good pre-built PC and then use the PC until you have enough money to upgrade yourself with parts. Exactly. That's all you got to do. And keep it simple. Now, if anybody's just getting into PCs, this is exactly what Takuma said is a true PC builder or a PC gamer, because this is exactly what you think. You think, I'm going to buy a cheap PC because I'm going to upgrade it. Remember, like the difference between console and PC gamers is that with console you're locked in. You're not going to truly modify it. The most you might do to a PS5 is going to expand the storage. That's probably it. And then when it comes to PCs, you have a lot of flexibility. You can pretty much upgrade anything in that PC, as long as if it is built with quality here. I would go used PC and upgrade like most AM4 builds. Yeah, exactly. AM4 is still alive. They came out with a 10-year anniversary for the 5800 X3D, which is insane. Don't rent the traditional way. Buy it on the no, research, and then get the last gen clearance. You know, it makes me curious. Seeing the Flex One, how much do you think the rent a Flex 3 would cost? It would have to be extremely expensive. Get a PC that gets the job done and then slowly add it over time. Yeah, exactly. That's like a super move. I'm gonna work on getting some GIFs up here and sound effects and get like something like that. You know what? That gives me a great idea, and that's what I got to do more. Add a little more sound effects. I'm still on AM4 laugh out loud inside the 7900 GRE. PCI Express is so fast. Even on AM4 can utilize a really good GPU. Absolutely. So let's take a look at how much it would cost if you're to rent this high tier PC. So like a high end tier PC. Wow. Take a look at this guy, guys. It's not even that high of a tier. I mean, it's a great PC, don't get me wrong, but it's insane. Like for the pricing. Okay, so a brand new PC with exact parts and performance listed here. $300 a month. Remember, this is the rented. So you're renting a AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D, 32 gigabytes of RAM, RTX 5080, and 4 terabytes of storage for $300 a month. Oh man, talk about expensive. If I did upgrade the 5800 X3D, that is crazy. That is painful, right? $5,800 for that. $300. And then, but the good news is you can get like new. So practically meaning that they got someone that is more than likely came back from rental and they probably wiped it nice and clean and now it's like new. That is crazy. And they give you the numbers here, so they're kind enough to give you an idea on what type of performance you can expect out of it. So if you take a look, and it seems like most people, it seems like everybody, I should say, not even most, everybody is does agree that renting is a bad idea. And but you see Cyberpunk 2077 at 235 at 1080, of course. Let's go to the 4K side here. And you get Fortnite at 71 frames, Cyberpunk at 2077 to 88. These numbers are weird. That makes no sense to me. How does Cyberpunk 2077 have better frames than Fortnite? Am I lost here, or is that just not right? Those numbers. You see that, guys? 4K of Cyberpunk 2077, you get 88 frames. Fortnite, you get 71 frames. So, Chris, remember the last time the Costco PCs I would go, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they were way cheaper. They were like 2,500 bucks. In fact, the Waffle Skater was the one I actually brought them up. AMD makes no money on 5800 X3Ds after paying for the redesign and new tape. Now that cost, yeah, it's true. It is expensive for them to do it, but they know people are stuck. Like when it comes to their PCs at this point. So hopefully Wasabi's in here too, but I'll also post up the notice if I do any type of gaming streams. Once again, this is a notice for everybody, especially on YouTube. Just to let you guys know, if I do any type of gaming streams, they will be posted onto Twitch, because we have to just respect the YouTube algorithm, as this is a hardware channel until eventually maybe I'll get into opening up another channel, but for now I'll just stream onto Twitch when it comes to gaming streams. So using the SR, he plays at 4K medium settings with the DLSS at 4K 60. Oh yeah, that is a good point, right? I could be wrong. I don't play Fortnite, so I cannot tell you. I forgot that they did that. The bottleneck goes away with higher resolutions. That would be with the DLSS turned on 88. It would have to be, right? And then I would assume I would love to see the numbers with patch tracing and everything too, because uh, um because I want to see real numbers. These are all, I get it. These are estimated numbers, and I wouldn't trust the numbers that NCXT gives. I'd say they're not bad, but there's so much different options on how you can run it and optimizations on displays. You know, I'm curious, guys. If you're renting a PC, right? Does that mean you have to own a display? You have to actually own a monitor. So it still doesn't make any sense. You would have to own some sort of monitor in order for you to play the game, unless you're going to rent that too, which is going to be another cost. The only GPU I have been selling is the 9070 XT. Absolutely. That's like the card that I've been getting the most. I actually got one here. I'm just waiting for all the parts to actually come in. And man, FedEx has been killing me. Like FedEx has not been delivering my packages. It's like weird. I've been waiting for 2 weeks. And I think FedEx, I'm pretty sure FedEx lost both of them. So I don't know. I tried to reach out to FedEx and I didn't get no response. Like I reached out on them to direct message and no response. They probably sourced their. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill F, and Dead Space. I don't play Fortnite either. I'm not a friend. If this game made me so much damage, and it made, and you know what the issue is. I have a great question for you guys. In fact, here goes another one. Do you feel? Do you guys feel that casuals ruined gaming? Because the majority of a lot of these like Fortnite players or Call of Duty players are more casual players. So what do you guys think? Do you think casuals have ruined the industry more in that sense? That's exactly what I was thinking. Use your, yeah. Oh, nice, awesome. What did you end up getting, Jamil? Yeah, I know. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'll share the image. Do you feel that casuals ruin gaming? No, no. Do you guys feel that? Yeah, I'm mixed on that because casuals help push innovation, but buy up all our hardware. Interesting. But I'm seeing a lot of no. I'm seeing a lot of ingredients on no. So that's a good thing. So for anybody that's tuning in that does own from that actually has a console, you can see that PC gamers are not that bad. We will not rag on casuals. So ruined, not really, but yeah, intoxicated, yes. Here, I got to show you these packages too while you guys vote, because this is what it looks like. I took a screenshot, and where did I put it? Right here. Here goes the first package, right? Here's the first package. We'll add a delivery date as soon as we get it. This is, but the date on this was the 24th of July. And then the next package was even worse because they did. I know for a fact they got it. Now it's stuck since July 30th, and we're already on the 8th of August. I feel like that too. We'll add a delivery date as soon as it starts moving. I was supposed to get it like last week. Definitely, right? Uh, I've direct messaged them, and they, you know what happened? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear nothing. So yeah, I feel like they definitely lost the package there. It's definitely gone. I'm casual, but when I game, I want to do it as badass as possible. Ah, nice, nice, nice. Hey, it takes a lot of courage to admit that. Why is this 7900 GRE? Really? It's $1,000 anyway. It must be a third party seller that's charging that much. Vlog cameras led someone to your goods. Yeah, that's what they've been talking about is vlog cameras. No, I was talking about the game itself, Fortnite. This game is alone damaged and oh yeah. I get what you're saying because they come because you got Red Sec from Battlefield now. You have Call of Duty. What's it called? The Call of Duty where it's like the pretty much like a Fortnite mode. Um, I have some customers that have no idea what they're getting. They straight up tell me, but I don't have the advantage of that. And I dig in and ask them what they're trying to do. I don't oversell, no ripoffs. See, that's what it's all about. Like trying to make sure that everybody can be able to enjoy gaming. Seeing those bundles in is depressing in Canada. Oh, I apologize, man. I hopefully Micro Center is opening up a store in Canada because that would make sense. I mean, we're literally like next door neighbors here. So I will take that poll down. It seems that most people are in agreement. So I had built both of my youngest PCs to play Fortnite and Rocket League. Yeah, oh nice, nice. See, Kingston Beast Fury X 16 GB CL34 and Asus Prime Overclock 5070 Ti. Hey, Rocket League's fun, yes. I think people automatically think of you know, eventually there's definitely going to be a Fortnite movie. They're going to definitely do one of those Fortnite movies. I just looked and I saw the 999 Sapphire, but there is the 700. Still too much. It's because, you know what it is? It's because when it comes to pricing, especially when it comes to anything that's like older hardware like that, it's not even old, really. It's not that old. It's like, it's a little bit older. But I can certainly say um, that they don't know how to price it. And I think that's the big problem because it's so volatile when it comes to pricing as it comes to GPUs. They just don't know what a true fair price is or fair value. I know the pain, dude, but you are awesome. My dad bought my. Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly. That's all it took. Changes your life. Takuma seems like he'll be one of the first ones to go. Windows must have gotten an update. My folders are shiny gold now. Yeah, that's what they can do best. Uh, Jazz Brar says, "Hey Chris, I was looking at a Wooting keyboard and Logitech SuperStrike, but they are too expensive. Any good alternatives?" So you want a Logitech SuperStrike? I gotta see. I'm not actually familiar with the SuperStrike. Let me look it up. Logitech SuperStriker. Let me see what it has so I can help you. How much did they want for it? Oh, it's a mouse. The mice. I'm thinking it's a keyboard. You know why these are expensive too? These are competition mice. Concrete, what's going on? The Logitech Superstar, Wooting keyboard, and the Logitech. Okay, the Wooting keyboard. The Wooting keyboards are good, but do you feel that's too expensive too? Wooting should be like roughly about $100 for their keyboards, I think. I have 11 mechanical keyboards. What's the budget? There you go. I respect that you built 2 PCs for your son. Yeah, that's one way to go for sure. Once you get them into PC, it's gonna be so hard for them to like even get into consoles. It's gonna feel uh, for them. It's gonna feel like a big downgrade if they touch a console. I'm not a big keyboard and mouse person. I have a wired Keychron. Keychron's good. G502 is an excellent mouse. That's definitely less competition, but I know he's looking. This is much more competitive if this is what he's looking for. They're made to be lightweight, $180. So you're looking for something like this. There's actually a mouse I can actually recommend. It's actually called Ninja. It's a Ninja mouse. And it's competition. It's actually half of the price. What's it called? Where is it at? It's this one, the Ninjutsu. And this is competitive. It's only 90 bucks. Let me see. I clicked that so that way we can get more info on it. Here we go. So if you take a look at this mouse, this is probably something that you're looking more for. Something like this. I don't know, or should I wait? Should I build a PC? I mean, you can. Honestly, you still can build a PC. I just highly recommend going for it to, if you are building PC, build the kit and then go off of there. I have a Death Adder version 4 Pro mouse clicks and our little pingy. Now, these are actually very underrated, these mice. And again, it still has the performance that you're looking for. It's only 90 bucks. So if anyone is curious about this mouse here, you can get it, especially a competition mouse for like esports. This is definitely one I can recommend to you. Yeah, it's not bad, right? Especially for 90 bucks. But that's the mouse right there. The Keychron M6, yeah, 8K polling is a big deal. Now, I would recommend a Corsair keyboard. Corsair has a really good keyboard. And the one that I actually use, I highly recommend, is the the 100. I got the name backwards. the K100. It's an optical keyboard, and certainly the fastest. But again, it just depends. Like if you're trying to look for like truly competitive, or if you're just trying to get something that feels good gaming. Because there's a lot of great stuff out there. The G502 is like another great mouse that was actually brought up. Especially that you can actually get it for like as low as $35 at times. Um, but of course it's wired. Logitech also has good keyboards as well. I have the Keyboard 6 Professional. Nice. That's a good one too. Logitech G4. Here keyboard wise, here's another one I can recommend actually. This one's not expensive and great for competition as well. If you're trying to think like a little bit out of your usual brands of Logitech and Corsair, Ducky is actually pretty good too. If you look at Ducky has some great keyboards out there. And they use it's high quality. They use multiple dampers, so it feels really good. And they're not expensive either. So this is another one to go for. They have multiple variants out there depending on how you like your feel, depending on the type of switches you prefer. They have ones that are more silent switches, and they have ones that are a bit more clicky. Keyboard God. I can't imagine the final boss. He's definitely the final boss when it comes to keyboards. So if you ever battle Smitty, he's gonna definitely have every single switch in mind. I paid $99 for it. Nice, nice. I use magnetic hole effect. How do you like the magnetic switches, by the way? That was another keyboard I was truly curious about too, because I think magnetic hole effect switches are great. Logitech had the best webcam. They still do. They actually still have great webcams, believe it or not. Yeah, no problem, Jazz. Is that how the cutscene? I'll start off with Smitty. I'll be like, I have an addiction. And then he gets the keyboards. You'll see like a bunch of keyboards on the desk. And it'll be all 11 keyboards plugged in with different RGB colors. They stopped putting PS2 ports on the PC. Yeah, those are throwbacks here. Webcam market was stalled for years until streaming. Yeah. Yeah, because nobody had any use for it anymore. No, the only thing people would use it for was probably Skype. And then it completely stopped. Then it's streaming got helped push it up, and then I think what else helped too is the whole coronavirus phase too. Like once we got into the whole once they started like shutting everything down, then webcams were big. So yeah, Smitty Fitty is the cowboy of keyboards. Soon you draw a keyboard, he shoots with a Razer keyboard. Yeah, there you go. That's funny too. I can imagine Smitty he's gonna look at his keyboards, and as soon as he probably touches his keyboard, feels how the keys feel, and then he checks the switches, and then he does it to each one. Then the one that he touches and he feels it, he aggressively rubs it up and down, and then he touches the keys and starts typing on it like crazy and feels the switches, and as soon as he doesn't like it, he just screams and says, what the hell is this? I like Logitech because they work on Windows and Linux. Logitech is not the way to video. Yeah, that's true. That's what it was all about, was just like video calls. Yeah, it's Mad Catz actually contacted. They reached out like the other day. I was like, wow, you guys are still. I was they're still around, but I was surprised to hear from them. Yeah, I figured that all up. Yeah, he'll tell you a good keyboard. So now You know the guy. Like if you need LSG, what's going on? Oh man, yeah. How's everything? I know. I bet you've been busy. I'm sure you got your hands full. Logitech, they had a good budget HD 900 series streaming cams. Yeah, you know, I still actually have mines. Actually, you know, the Jonah cam, that's what it is. It's the 903, the HD 903 I have. I bought several of the expensive Razer mice. They're junk. And that's what usually happens to them. They just like end up breaking down. What's up, Brock? Oh yeah, I would think so. I haven't had. Oh man, that's rough. That's rough. But at least you got the work though. That's the important thing. You got your hands full. Razer, you know, Razer makes me think it's most people who get a PC. Most people who first time get a PC will usually get Razer because honestly, most people they see it, they're like, "Oh, this must be good," and that's what all you see is Razer. And I gotta say, like when you first game on PC, I feel like that's what they go with is a Razer. And then once a couple years pass or even a year pass, they're like, "Nah, this isn't no good. I need something else." I flung my Razer Naga against the wall, pure junk. The mouse, yeah, the mice aren't as good, but I do agree with Smitty. The keyboards are pretty decent. They're fair because the reason why I say that is because I actually had a Razer keyboard and it lasted for a really long time. I actually held it for I'd say like 9 years, and it was still good. It was perfectly fine, but I just didn't want it, so I sold it. Their mice are top notch. It's a fancier, but I prefer different brands. I still have the Razer Death Adder. That's actually a decent mouse. Actually, that's a decent mouse. Naga, I don't like the Nagas as much. I had Razer, all this stuff, but after 1 year, no more. I was gonna say, oh really? Uh, I was gonna say Takuma got he got the webcam from Razer. He got the keyboard, the mouse. He has the speaker. I had the Death Adder for like 10 years. MMO mice are prone to failure, I guess. Yeah. That was the big issue. But you know, they tried to change it around. They changed up the style. I'll show you the Razer Naga. They changed up the style with the Naga because with the Naga line, uh, you can actually change it up. You can pop out the plate and actually change this into a different version. Let me see if I'm trying to find a picture of it. Or did they get rid of that feature now? Yeah, I don't see any. It must be the other one here. Let's try this one. Left-handed edition. Oh no, it's the V2 Pro, I think. That's what it is. Let me see. The V2 Pro has the interchangeable grip. So you can choose to change it out to be more tactical, or if you prefer more MMO, or what do you think of the AMD Epic 9996 256 core? It's a very, very good server processor. Are you thinking of building a server or LLM? Is that what you're trying to do? Because then I would say that you can get it for that. I wouldn't use it to game. It wouldn't make any sense. The mouse I am currently using it is $30 gaming Red Dragon mouse. That sucker is 3 to 4 years and it's the best. You know that's another company that actually is pretty decent. A lot of people overlook Red Dragon. The middle plate looks like the G604 layout. Yes, in the beginning of my career, I had all what you can get from Razer. My mic was the last piece that sent me to hell. Hey Chris, finally posted my rig on Discord. Can't post a video since. Oh, really? That's so dumb. When it comes to my, you know what we can do, Havy? In fact, let me see something real quick. If you don't mind, let me see. I was thinking, maybe if you don't mind, you could do it. You could do it through video. Just go into the video interview side and send it through video, and then you can do it that way. You can do it kind of. You can kind of stream it. That would probably be the best way, or you could choose to upload it if you want to show it. The 100% truth about mice and keyboard are this: it's not what you like, it's not what people say. If you like it and it does the job, you have won. uh, you know what, Smitty? You should really write a book because if, if it would make a perfect title if you come up with a book. I think it would be hilarious if you did it. If you actually came out with a book just about keyboards. Like, I've touched 11 keyboards, and this is what you need to know. Or, you know what? Better yet, I'll think of a good title for you. Let me think. There we go. I'm thinking of it. I'm stirring right now. I would say, how about this? I touched 11 keyboards. And it just turns out, as humans, we're just picky. Or that might be a little long. That one's a little long. It's the foundation for Zen 6. I'm one of the engineers at AMD. We have a bunch of new products for gaming coming soon. Time frame will be, oh, if that's true, that'd be pretty awesome. The evolution of keyboards, books, titles. Just kidding. Even down to the keycaps. Yeah, that would be true. How I test that on 1,000 keyboards and mice. Here's what you. There you go. There you go. Touch me. I'm a dirty keyboard. There you go. Uh, how about let me think. Uh, 11, 11 keyboards in. Just buy the one you like. Smitty is the keyboard. The keyboard got it. Can you imagine a 50 Shades of keyboards? Oh yeah. I'm watching you on the unreleased AMD. Oh nice. Oh nice. The key to your board. There you go. Uh how about how about let me see. When there's quite a few I can think of here. I like Takuma's 50 Shades of keyboard there. The 900 IQ. 900 IQ of my keyboard. Big brain move there here. Oh, the key to. I do like concretes. That's a good one. I would it would make it would make such a it would make such a great cover. Just imagine the art to it. Like it would show like if he had actual art for that, like it would show a keyboard and it would show all the keys and in the middle like it would be very deep in, hidden. You would see a key like pretty much like a glowing keyhole like for the key going in. And then on the bottom it will say more power. I think that would be great. It matches Smitty perfectly, I think. Um, but PC hardware wise, I gotta say, if you're looking for the keyboard, you came to the right place because we hold the keyboard god, Smitty. I'm hearing snapping text clubs before Smitty goes into the keyboard for that. Oh, nice. Imagine Genomorph makes an AI cover. Yeah, exactly. That would be hilarious. I know, and Ellis could do a keyboard of like touching a keyboard. The parts I have today are for gaming and content creation. It's engineering sample to test and tune. Nice, nice. And who's and Brocken, who's the guy that you reach out once again to, like when it comes to the how should I say, to the relations side. Here's my secret. I only get them off Amazon and I order a few and send back the ones that I don't like. That's actually, I usually recommend to do that, especially like when it comes with a display. Displays are great to do that with. Find the display that you actually like, because because this is something that you're going to be staring into. Smitty, the keyboard Sparta 300. I got to be honest. Out of all of YouTube, the people that hang out here are by far the most awesome. Well, oh, thank you, Hidden. Certainly do appreciate it. We do have a unique group. I do have to say that we definitely have a very unique group, but it's nothing but love in here for sure. I never leak it. Oh yeah, yeah. I would imagine. Oh man. Right before the next time we go live, we gotta really come out with this book. I now stop with the funny keyboard jokes. But I feel like having a decent keyboard is definitely key. It is important because in order for you to enjoy your PC experience, you have to have a keyboard. And but I gotta say, like, out of curiosity, because I hear this is like pretty common now. I'll buy you a Jersey Mike's sandwich to. Oh, nice. That's a nice offer. Let me see. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna put up a poll for you guys because out of curiosity, I see this a lot. This is specifically, I know when it comes to the newer generation, or maybe it's a preference. Um, Now, I'm going to ask it like this because I feel like this makes more sense. And this is how you can tell if this type of person usually does this when they have a PC. And that's do you use do you use a controller for FPS games? Because I feel like I'm pretty surprised. I noticed this a lot with the newer generation, or sometimes for those who have been on console for a very long time and then switches over to PC. It's hard for them to. Yes, thank you, Hidden Bowl. We'll get to it. We got like $230 towards the Threadripper. We're getting there. Thank you, Hidden. We are trying to get this Threadripper done. Oh, and hopefully Brock will put in a good word and get a Threadripper sent out to us. The 200, yeah, it's absolutely insane. I use a controller on almost every game but FPS. Yes. Yes. So that's interesting. I use a controller on almost every game but FPS. It makes sense, but this is specifically FPS because the reason why I ask on FPS games is because I find it more increasingly common that new gamers or gamers that have gamed on console for pretty much until for a very long time and they just got into PC gaming maybe in the late 30s or 40s, they will stick to a controller. So it's interesting. You got a 50-50 mix. Wait, to reach 10% of the call? Yes. I am PlayStation a guy, that's why, to be honest. Brock is in possession of. There you go. I use a PS5 controller on my PC. I like PlayStation 100%. You know me, Chris. I use controller for FPS games. And oh, okay, okay. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious. I'm just like surprised because I feel like throughout my life, like growing up, like as a PC gamer, most people that have played FPS games always use keyboard and mouse. But now I'm finding more and more people that actually don't use keyboard and mouse, that some people actually prefer to use a controller. So I found it interesting. I can understand some of the reasons why. I'm not saying that PC gamers that game on a controller are terrible with FPS, because there's certain advantages such as aim assist. I can understand that reasoning to it, and or it's just the comfortability level that people like to enjoy gaming on a controller. I spent $70 on a PS5 controller and it never felt right because I'm a keyboard and mouse guy. Yeah, I can get that too. Only on older games, Minecraft, and I use keyboard and mouse. Okay, okay. Till 2013, I was using a keyboard because it was the first console, was my PS4 in 2014. I use both mainly for testing. Awesome. You got to use button remappers to make them work. Yeah, that was like a big thing too. Remember the whole button remapping? But thanks to Steam, they certainly make it a lot easier to do any mapping. FPS keyboard and mouse controller for racing and fighting. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there's no. I would love to meet a person. Can you imagine? You know what? I can't say that. Maybe I bet. It's funny that you say that. I'm just gonna throw in one more keyboard joke because I think this is gonna be funny. But for FPS keyboards, I've never met a person that plays fighting games on a controller. But I bet Smitty certainly knows how to. I bet Smitty is excellent. And he would probably whip some ass, especially on a keyboard. You might get shocked. But anyway, I got a fight stick. Good luck playing EverQuest with the controller. Yeah, that's rough. Like if you're playing games like that, like anything MMO wise, you gotta play keyboard and mouse. There's no way. Like I tried playing, for some reason I just could not comprehend like playing. It was Baldur's Gate 3. It was tough. Good one. Yes, exactly. Anyone want to play Killer Instinct? There, there it is. Uh, for MMOs, a keyboard is yeah, because it's there's just too many keys to be able to take advantage of. Back then, there was like a Modern Warfare 2. There was no controller support, but more and more games can now adapt to more controllers. That is true. And controller mappings. But yeah, it's interesting. So it's a good 50-50 mix. That's good to know. So it's a good 50-50 mix of people that like to use controllers and also like to use um, controllers, and they also like to use keyboard and mouse. Also, what else? There was something I wanted to bring up to you guys here too. Man, but it still throws me off about the whole Take Two side of things here. Oh, it was this. And I found this interesting that they're actually coming out with a Doom handheld. Specifically the 1 and the 2. It's only 3,000 units. So I think this would be definitely a good find for anyone that are huge Doom fans here. But again, $250. It ships October 30th. It comes with a pretty decent case. So for you Doom fans out there, Evercade is coming out with this handheld. So it's pretty decent. I don't even when I was a kid, I don't remember having a controller in PC. Yeah, you know, back then it was more like joysticks. It was like joysticks. I had a controller, but it was very generic. It was like a Super Nintendo controller almost, I remember. It wasn't nothing crazy. They didn't really have many. It made my Intel look like a horseshoe. Yeah. My first controller looked like an Atari joystick. Yeah, it was like something like mine was like rounded, very generic, had it was basically gray and yellow, I think. No, they had different colors. It was like yellow, blue, red, and pretty much like standard colors like that, but they just didn't have letters or nothing. Yeah, there was no support and of course compatibility issues, but the ruse was USB that there was no problem anymore. Oh. So, FamBam guys, I certainly thank everybody for coming into the wonderful stream today. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Again, if I do any type of gaming streams, just be on the lookout on Twitch. I'll be streaming onto Twitch for any type of gaming streams. And of course I'll let you guys know through Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, make sure to join in. I gotta thank Smitty. I gotta thank our wonderful keyboard god, Igor, Hidden, Takuma, Wasabi. Of course, I'm gonna thank. I gotta thank LSG for stopping in real quick. I gotta thank Brock for coming in as well. Steve, I gotta thank. I gotta thank the other Steve. There's a lot of Steves actually here today. Concrete, and of course, I gotta thank all our wonderful members. If you haven't been part of the wonderful fan band, make sure to join in as well. Z-Man, I gotta thank you for coming in. You've been great. Yeah. Yes, have a wonderful weekend. My first controller. Really? That's funny. GameCube out of all controllers. That's a really interesting keyword. Thank you, Hidden. I do appreciate it. I thank God for yes. And thank you guys so much for coming in. Oh yeah, the spammer. Yes. For his hopefully you found his 4070. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, there's a lot of Steves. Oh, Havy too. I gotta thank Havy. Wasabi came in for a little bit. But thank you guys all for coming in. I do appreciate it. And make sure to enjoy the wonderful weekend. Enjoy the demo on Onimusha. It's really good. And it doesn't really take much power. But thank you guys so much for coming in once again. And I do appreciate it. And hopefully I catch you next time. We'll see you soon. Oh, I gotta thank Mike too. Can't forget.